everyone, Chivos here, bringing you another Hyundai A-League fixture review for the fixtures of Week 13. Now, the first game of the weekend saw Central Coast Mariners beat Wellington Phoenix 3-1. And yes, you did hear that correctly. Yes, I did just say that. Central Coast won. How? I have no idea, but a surprise win for Central Coast Mariners saw them keep in touch at the foot of the table, while Wellington are struggling to find consistency. It didn't help that Roy Krishna was not available, but Central Coast picked up a win. I can't believe it. Fabio Ferreira opened up the scoring for Central Coast in the 27th minute when he scored from an early penalty. Now, Mitch Austin added a second for Central Coast 3 minutes later when he was found at the back post and slotted home to make it 2-0. Blake Power scored for Wellington in the 67th minute after a great cross from Redenton found him in the box. Michael Neal put the nail in the coffin though when he made it 3-1 in the 70th minute. It was game over. Now, Neal found a loose ball inside the box before placing a shot past Glenn Moss. What a bad day at the office for Glenn Moss it was. A good win for Central Coast, but unfortunately, it's not the main talking point of the fixture. Why not? Why not? Why? Central Coast winning is so important. Why is something else there? It's because of Manny Muscat and Roy O'Donovan. So, Muscat and O'Donovan were both edging each other when it's Manny Muscat. What am I talking about? Manny Muscat, I'm thinking too much about Melbourne Victory. He elbowed O'Donovan. Now, whether or not it was intentional, it doesn't matter. Because O'Donovan should not have reacted in the way he did. And, you know, you're stupid to react like that. Now, O'Donovan ended up headbutting Muscat and picked up a yellow card. After the game, and we've seen it throughout this week, both players have gone to the FFA. They've spoken to a jury, and they have both received suspensions. I'm not quite sure how long Manny Muscat's been suspended for. I think it's around 2 games, maybe 3 games. But O'Donovan has been handed an 8-match ban. So Central Coast will be without one of their marquee players until week 21 or 22. So ridiculous. O'Donovan, you're an idiot. And let me know in the comment section below if you think that this is a fair punishment for O'Donovan, because personally I think it is. You should never headbutt a fellow football player. It's ridiculous. You're an idiot. Grow up, O'Donovan. Grow up. You've just ruined Central Coast's party. How does that make you feel? Now, the second game of the weekend saw a 0-0 draw between Western Sydney Wanderers and Adelaide United. Both teams will feel robbed after not getting to take the 3 points, and it was a decent fixture overall. But, yet again, another talking point in the match. 2 blatant penalties. Clear as day. You know, anyone, even a 2-year-old kid sitting in the stands could have bloody called that. Blatant. Ben Williams, what are you doing? You need to sort yourself out. You're a paid full-time professional now, and you've made mistakes like that. Well, firstly, P. Vicari had a goal disallowed after a shirt pull on McGowan. No, it happens. If you're going to strike, if you're a striker, you shouldn't be pulling on shirts. Because you're going to bag goals. And obviously, you've bagged one, but you've mucked up. So, sorry there, P. Vicari. Learn from your mistake. Now, Michael Morone. Now, this is weird. He scored his first ever Hyundai A-League goal the other weekend. He made a good run into the box a short time after the disallowed goal. But Top-Horse Stanley stands in his way. It's clearly denied a goal-scoring opportunity. And it should have been a penalty. Yellow card. But nothing was given. Nothing. Top-Horse Stanley knew he was in the wrong. Morone on the ground screaming at Williams for a penalty and got nothing. But Mark Bridge went down in the box on the other end of the pitch after a tackle from McGowan. Now, McGowan did not get contact with the ball whatsoever, if I recall the replays. But it should have been another penalty. It wasn't given, and it ended up 0-0. So, what can you do? But both sides will obviously feel cheated by the referee. But it's football, and people will make mistakes. You should not make mistakes that big, though. But, what can you do? Now, despite the draw, Western Sydney Wanderers will be happy. They're unbeaten in 10, and Adelaide United are also unbeaten in their last 5 fixtures. The third game of the weekend saw Brisbane Roar beat Perth Glory 2-1. Jamie McLaren opened up the scoring for the hosts, which saw him score against his old side. Now, Jamie McLaren has haunted Perth Glory, and that's what happens. You should never have breached the salary cap, and you wouldn't have this problem. A lovely goal from McLaren, but there were 2 more exceptional goals to come. Enrique, the super sub. I love talking about Enrique. If we could sign him up at Melbourne Victory, I gladly would. But Enrique had his back to goal at the top of the box. He turned, he struck, top right corner. What a goal it was. Enrique, take a bow. You should be starting. I know Jamie McLaren's in fine form. Enrique maybe shouldn't be starting. But you've already bagged 3 goals since your return. You are playing fantastic. Keep it up. Now, Perth Glory managed to get one back through Hagi Gligor. Gligor was subbed on for Michael Thwaite, and he scored with his first touch of the game. Diego Castro played a ball into Gligor, which saw him strike the ball into the inside of the far post. It was a magnificent strike from Gligor. I'd be happy with that. If I could score goals like that, I'd be more than happy. But Brisbane Roar have now won their last 4 games, while Perth Glory had the chance to go into the top 6. But because they've lost, they now sit 9th on the table. The 4th game of the weekend saw Sydney FC draw with an injury-stricken Melbourne City 2-2. Coming into the match, Melbourne City were without key players Aaron Moy, Ivan Franich, and also Eric Parlew. Now, Aaron Hughes scored his first ever goal in the A-League, and it was in the 37th minute. Navio whipped in a corner and saw Hughes head home at the back post, giving the hosts the lead. Ninkovic equalled the score for Sydney FC not too much later, when Holosko ran down the right-hand side before playing a ball across the goal. We saw Ninkovic backheel it past Thomas Sorensen to make it 1-1. Sorensen would have felt humiliated, but oh well. You've taken a step down into the A-League and you've made a mistake like that, Sorensen. You'll be right though, mate. You're a dominant keeper. You'll be right. You're getting paid enough money anyway, so who really cares? Fornaroli added to his tally to take City into a 2-1 lead. Now, Navio ran down the right again, put in a cross, which saw Fornaroli head it home for his 11th goal of the season. Navio been playing very well for Melbourne City, and proves that without Aaron Moy, he can still do a job. Ninkovic scored another equaliser for Sydney FC with 10 minutes to go. Now, Alex Gersbach whipped in a cross, went to the far post. Holosko, he was at the back post. He headed it across goal. Ninkovic, late run, jumped, header, goal, 2-2, and it's a draw. Shane Smelt had an opportunity late on in front of goal. He hit it over the crossbar. It should have been 3-2 to Sydney, but, people make mistakes. He did a Ben Calfella from last weekend, so good job there, Shane Smelt. You've done well, but Melbourne City will be happy with the result considering they had 3 key players out, while Sydney FC will obviously feel distraught after Shane Smeltz missing the opportunity to grab the 3 points. And none other than the final game of the weekend saw my team, Melbourne Victory, beat Newcastle Jets 1-0. Now, I was over the moon. So, a goal from Calfella was enough to claim a much-needed win and 3 points for Melbourne Victory. Now, Calfella redeemed himself after his miss last week. A shocker last week. Barbarouses and Calfella linked up so well for this goal. And fantastic. But Newcastle will obviously be disappointed to suffer defeat again. They started off so well, and now they're just slowly crumbling. So, well, what can you do if you're Newcastle? Let me know in the comments section below. What do you think Newcastle are going to do? Do they need to make some action in the transfer window? Now, I did cover this in my previous video. I do believe Jai Ingham has signed for Melbourne Victories, a 22-year-old winger from Hume City Football Club. So it's good to see him. And Melbourne City have released their goalkeeper. He's going overseas to Valafi, I think it was, to search other options. They've brought in a keeper. Can't remember who it is. He's 25 years old though. So some movement in the transfer window. I'm sure there'll still be some more to come. But I've already covered the Melbourne Victory game in another video. Now I will leave that in the comments section, in the description below, sorry. But it's time now to check the A-League table and see what has been happening. So if you do check the screen now, I'll bring it up here. Brisbane Roar top the table. That is right. Western Sydney Wanderers have been dethroned, but it's only because of goals. Brisbane Roar have 22 and 12, while Western Sydney have 20 and 10, but they are both on 27 points. Not bad there. Melbourne City are in third. They currently sit 6 points behind the leaders. So a lot of catch up there to be held. I think the top two are going to blitz unless there's a late surge from the third, fourth, or fifth. Now, Sydney FC are in fourth. They've played 13. They're on 21 points, equal with Melbourne City with a 5-goal difference. Melbourne City 16 in 4 games really proved something there. My team, Melbourne Victory, sits at the halfway point, 5th on the table, 20 points. We are still in touch with third. We can still catch up to the top if we start getting our shit together. Now, Wellington Phoenix sit in 6th, 15 points. Alright, they are currently 5 points behind Melbourne Victory, and that's a bit of a worry for them. If they're 5 points behind Victory, it means they're 12 points behind the top. So from 6 down, I don't think either of them, any of those guys, can finish in the can be the champions really. So top 5, you're looking at champions. Bottom 6, you're looking at a place for the 6th position, unless Melbourne Victory or Sydney slip up, but I doubt it. Adelaide United sit in 7th, 14 points. They're slowly catching Wellington Phoenix. Can they overtake them next weekend? Who knows? But Newcastle Jets still sitting on 13 points. They'd be happy with that. If I was a Newcastle Jets fan, I'd be happy with that. You're not bottom of the table, so you can't really complain about that. Perth Glory had the chance. If they had picked up the 3 points, they could have gone in 6th. They would have overtaken Wellington Phoenix, but it wasn't enough. They currently dwell down in 9th. And Central Coast Mariners, although they picked up a win, they're still 4 points off 9th. That's right. How far are they from the top 6? 7 points. How far are they from the top of the ladder? 19. Their season's finished already. All they can hope for is the finals. So we'll have to see what happens there. If you do check the right-hand side of the screen, Bruno Fornaroli tops the Golden Boot at the moment with 11. Barisha's on 8. McLaren's on 7. Krishna and Mitch Nichols didn't add to their tallies this weekend, sorry. Aaron Moy still tops the assists. Thomas Broich, Jamison, Navio on 4. Holosko on 4 as well. Saves, surely it's Sorensen. It is 54. Birighetti's on 50. Glenn Moss and Kovic round the lower 40s. Well, Jamie Young has 37. Passes, it's Garcia Perez as usual. What else can you expect? And in the most clearances, it is Manny Muscat with 49. Durante has 49 as well. German and Proxima have 47. And Poscliero has 46. So not bad for those guys there. But my name has been Chivos. Leave a like if you've enjoyed the video. Subscribe to see more Hyundai A-League content. And I'll catch you guys on another video.